Today we're taking a look at the highlights of Big Train Tom Nolan. The rugby player, now turned mixed martial artist, has an impressive 7-1 record with a ton of finishes. Tom Nolan looks to improve to 8-1 on the hometown pay-per-view this Saturday night. Today we'll have a look at Big Train's highlights.
Oh, Till's out! It's over! It's over! It's over! That's what I'm saying, boy! Oh! He got dropped! It's over! It's over! Munoz! Oh my God!
Tom Nolan was only 16 years old when he debuted as an amateur mixed martial artist for Eternal MMA in his native Australia, and his age wouldn't hinder his performances. Not really being filled into his frame at this point, he'd spend his amateur career in the featherweight division, and after winning 3 straight, including 2 fights in the XFC, he would get an amateur title shot for the XFC, and after an exciting first round of grappling transitions and ground and pound, Nolan would make his opponent quit on the stool. Nolan would defend that belt before meeting Aaron McConnell in his second to last amateur bout, and he would grapple heavily. This was the difference between Tom Nolan in his amateur career and Tom Nolan as he's beginning to develop, as he was much more of a grappler in his youth, shooting takedowns and probably winning the first 2 rounds. It was McConnell who stuffed the takedown and was able to strike his way to a finish in the 3rd round, handing Tom Nolan one of his 2 competitive mixed martial arts losses in his career. He would have one final fight as an amateur, a first-round finish, before debuting as a professional, nearly 2 years after his final amateur bout. Having grown up in the XFC and Eternal as an amateur, his pro career would entirely consist of contests in these 2 organizations, reeling off an impressive 4 straight wins, including back-to-back finishes. Tom Nolan is also crazy tough. He went into what would be his final fight for Eternal MMA, having sustained a broken eye socket and a detached retina. What did this cause Nolan? It just caused him to go out there and finish his opponent in under 2 minutes. This show of toughness and impressive run of 5 wins would get him a call to the Dana White Contender Series, and this is wild. At only 5-0 and extremely youthful, he would be brought into the Contender Series, and on the Contender Series, he would face a fiery opponent in Bogdan Grad, who was talking shit in DMs prior to their fight. It made the Nolan first-round finish one of the most brutal knockouts on Dana White's Contender Series, especially the follow-up punch after he had dropped Bogdan, into a beautiful welcome to the Ultimate Fighting Championship for Tom Nolan. The Australian would get the contract with only 6 fights, and he would be highly touted, with odds makers making him a massive favorite for his UFC debut, and his UFC debut would end up being worst-case scenario. Being the next undefeated potential superstar, Tom Nolan noted that he bought into his hype a little bit, and as the minus 350 favorite against Nicholas Moda, he'd be caught and finished for the first time since his amateur career, the first time as a pro, and in his first fight on a UFC fight night. This would turn the pressure to 10 for his next fight, as back-to-back losses in the premier organization might have had a serious negative impact, instilling self-doubt if he could even compete at the highest level. And in his most recent fight, for a few moments, it looked like Tom Nolan, the prospect, might be trending towards the bust. Then he turned the table so quickly that his opponent, Victor Martinez, had to be wondering what happened. After surviving a knockdown and an offensive onslaught from Martinez, Nolan got up from the Martinez blitz and hit him with a perfect knee. A knee that he apparently predicted he would land in the days leading up to the fight. The knee buckled Martinez, and again, Nolan's ground and pound from top position pounded him out for the TKO finish. Tom Nolan is a serious threat in the lightweight division, boasting a 6'3" frame for the division. He's long, tall, and powerful, though his chin has been cracked a couple times already in his UFC career. I do think Tom Nolan has a ton of potential. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Big Train Tom Nolan in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.